Who is in charge of Riley's mind in Inside Out? It might sound like a stupid question, because the entire concept of these films are about emotions using a control panel in someone's mind, and that controls their actions. And this control panel grows over time as a person grows up. But what I mean is, who governs the inside of the brain in the Pixar universe? Who is in charge of all of the police that we've seen? Because yes, the emotions control Riley from headquarters, but we've had 2 films now where emotions have been outside of headquarters and have not been able to return because they aren't in charge of the brain. And in Inside Out 2, this is even worse, where we have construction workers breaking into headquarters without the emotions knowledge and taking over, plus emotions going to literal jail. The construction workers even say they have legislation and hand Joy a list of papers as to why they are allowed to intervene, ready for the new arrivals.
Permits just came through.
Permits? For what?
So if the emotions aren't in charge, who the heck is? Well, today we're going to work out who, but before we go any further, please make sure that you click that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on. At the very beginning of Inside Out, we see that one person is in charge, and in Riley's case, it is Joy. Joy is the only thing alive in the brain at this point, and she has one button to control, and gradually over time, new emotions appear one by one, starting with sadness, and from number 2, we've seen that new emotions can arrive at different stages of life, and each of these can play a role in taking charge of the brain, but it's still that first emotion who most of the time has the most say and are in charge of headquarters at least. In Riley's brain it's joy, but it can change from person to person, like with Mum we have sadness who is in charge, and in Dad's head it's anger. But as time goes on and the brain becomes more complex, we can see other characters who are supposedly brain cells that aren't emotions and don't live in headquarters begin appearing. From workers who are in charge of memory storage, to workers who make different constructions like the Island of Personality or Imagination Land, to even actors in dreams. Like, it's a full-on society in Riley's mind. Plus, you then have characters who are free to roam around and don't have a job, but are created by Riley's brain, like Bing Bong or the characters in the Secret Vault in Inside Out 2. And as the brain grows, more and more characters form, society gets bigger, it's no wonder that there is police governing this land. So, who is in charge? Because it seems like the emotions at headquarters live in a little bubble of their own, because no one can access headquarters without permission. It means that when the emotions have gotten lost in the brain, no one knows who they are, and the emotions don't know who anyone else is. So they have to follow the law of Riley's brain, just like everyone else. Because the emotions did govern the brain, then every time they've been lost in these past 2 films, they could have just been sent back to headquarters. But in the first film, Joy and Sadness end up getting chased by security guards when they interrupt the dream scene, then are put into Nightmare Land as a punishment, with the security guards not recognizing them at all. And in the second film, the emotions are literally sent to jail in the Secret Vault and are locked up. Then spend the entire film basically being fugitives inside of Riley's mind, because they are breaking the law. So, who is in charge of this society and is in charge of this police, and who on earth creates the law of Riley's mind? Who is pretty much the president or prime minister of Riley's mind? In Inside Out 2, we see anxiety take control of the police and workers by ordering them to keep the other emotions away and come up with plans of how to help Riley. But anxiety is only able to do this once she has taken over headquarters and has planted enough anxiety memory orbs in the belief system. And then this got me thinking. In the first film, the emotions have perfect control, and it's only when the core memories have left headquarters that they lose power, and we see sadness and joy not being able to govern the land, and anger and fear and disgust not being able to get any help from any workers in headquarters. And since we've seen anxiety only controls the society, like the police, when they have control of the core memories and the belief system, it makes me believe that a person who controls the core memories of Riley at headquarters is in charge of the government and in charge of the whole brain land, who has sort of the Riley throne, if you're going to call it. And as we've seen, this can change. It could be an emotion like joy or sadness or anxiety, but could theoretically be anyone who gets to headquarters and has control over those core memories. They instantly become the leading government in Riley's mind, the king or queen of the brain. We could even have someone like Bing Bong or Pouchy being in charge if they got to headquarters and protected the core memories. And the reason for this is all to do with another Pixar film, Soul. Now, in Soul, we find out that every living thing originates from a soul, which is made up of different personality tropes and needs a spark to then be sent to Earth and inhabit a body. These personality tropes and this spark is basically what the core memories and the belief system are in Inside Out. So the soul is in charge of the society in a person's mind, governed by whoever controls those core memories. And like we say, it could be the emotions like it is most of the time, but if the emotions aren't there like we've seen in both of these films, it could be any random person who gets control. But anyway guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure that you smash the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Guys, let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about this? Do you think that the emotions are in charge of Riley's mind, or do you think it's someone else like the soul? And I just found it really interesting that we had these really key characters like the emotions basically being fugitives inside of Riley's mind. I absolutely loved Inside Out 2, and so I thought maybe we should query this and create a theory on it. But as always, we've been here on Creative Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
I don't wanna see us going on and not forget.